I'm Rawl Lewis and I'm the West Indies team manager. Well, being a team manager, I think it's a dynamic role. It's a unique role in the West Indies because of the different islands that you have to navigate through to get the squad together. I think you need passion to become a team manager, to enjoy behind the scene work for cricket, logistics and other things. So it's a nice job and I enjoy it.
He's very important to the team. He obviously makes us know what we are supposed to do when arriving to a certain venue and how to carry ourselves around the hotel and the environment around the ground as well.
Well, day to day I have whatever size of the squad, whatever the squad size is, you have to ensure that everyone is okay. Check in with the head coach, obviously, because he manages the program for any tour. Ensure that, the well-being of the squad, if there are family members, the hotel management and, a comfort in any accommodation, travel plans, practice facilities, rehydration, diet, everything. Just to make sure that when the team is ready to play, there are no issues relating to anything off the field.
Rawl is extremely important to the team, not only from a managerial standpoint, but because he's played the game. He's got that wealth of knowledge. He's one that you can always confide in, sit and have an honest conversation, and he will give you his honest feedback. He's one of the most straightforward people I've ever met. Extremely funny. For me, he does a lot for my mental space because he's always one of those persons I can lean on. And you need those people around.
As I played cricket for a long time, right, and being a team manager is not something that I thought about while I was playing. I wanted to be the best cricketer I could possibly be and not sure what I was going to do after I finished playing. But one of my friends who I grew up with in the countryside in Grenada reminded me that one day we went fishing. And he said to me, well, I called him to let him know that I've been appointed as West Indies team manager. And he said, I remember you said that to me when we were fishing. I said, but I don't remember though. So, it was somewhere inside me, but it's not something that I thought about on a daily basis. But I started in 2016 with the T20 World Cup that we won in India. It was surprising to me because as a former player, the West Indies team managers are high-profile people. They are ex-international stars, legends of the game. And for me to be considered as a team manager for West Indies, trust me, it was surprising, but that tells me that I have something good in me.
Nah, he's been excellent since he came in. The one incident that will last with me forever is that if he wasn't there as manager and doing what he did in the 2016 World Cup, we may not have had enough clothes to play with. He had to spend some nights in a lonely place, in a lonely little factory, making sure that all the clothes were printed and everything like that. So he's done a lot for the job and it's great to have him here. It was a case where, we had to, clothes were not printed yet and he had to make sure that they were done. And as he could have said, well, look, it will get done, but instead he took his time and made sure that he went up there and made sure that everything was done properly so that when we walked on the field in that first game, we were looking like West Indies. So that shows his character. He makes sure that things are done right and that they're done properly. And it gets to him when things are not done properly. 2016
World Cup I will never ever forget, not because we won, but being in that role for the first time. I boarded the flight, I landed at Gatwick and then on to Heathrow and then from Heathrow to Dubai where the team was in camp. And while I boarded that flight at Heathrow, then I started thinking, wow, you're the manager. Seriously, are you the manager of the West Indies team? Okay, right, you're the manager. Right, start thinking like a manager, start acting like a manager. So start talking to the people and the playing as the West Indies team manager because there are certain things, And then when I got to Dubai now, the team was already there. And Darren Sammy, Captain Darren Sammy, we played for the same regional team. So I called him into my room and he was captain of the West Indies team now. And I said to him, Darren, please tell me how to operate as a manager in this environment. Obviously, Phil Simmons was the head coach. I met him at breakfast. Phil Simmons was my roommate when I played for West Indies in 1998. So that relationship has always been there. I got him out a couple of times in regional cricket, which I continue to remind him of all the time. And we started talking about, how we're going to go about running the show. And, it started from there. The camp was good. And then I went over to India. So I had this one guy contact details at Calcutta Cricket Association where I had to find him. His name is Mr. Vishwapati. I just saw him there when we played and we had a nice conversation. So I had his name, I couldn't pronounce it at the time. So I went into the Eden Gardens and there were lots and lots of people there, obviously preparing for the tournament. And I'm trying to find Mr. Vishwapati and I saw Sourav Ganguly coming through the crowd. I say, he must remember me. I mean, although I wasn't such a good cricketer, but I hope he remembered me. So I called him and he came and I said, can you tell me where I can find Mr. Vishwapati? He said, go up the stairs on the 3rd floor, door to the left, you'd find him there. So I went up the stairs on the 3rd floor. When I entered the door, it had about 50 people in a small room and I'm trying to think, okay, which one is Mr. Vishwapati? I wonder if they speak English. Should I shout? Well, I'm hoping they would see the logo because, here is the manager. So I asked somebody quietly for Mr. Vishwapati and he said, well, he's the one that the people come to see, the 50 people. So I said, so I'm at the back of the queue. No problem, I'll have a seat. So I sat there for 2 hours waiting for him and he came and we had a conversation. He took me downstairs to where we had our kit stored and then I took the items back to the hotel and the rest is history. We sorted it out nicely. Team was well equipped, won the tournament. My very first appointment as team manager, victorious.
But I think he understands cricket and at times, during the game he will always come and give you some type of advice, whether it's on the field or as a batsman, and it's something that it tends to always make you smile because obviously he used to play for West Indies and first class cricket, and it's lovely to have him around since he understands cricket as well.
I'm Maroon fans. Due to the luck, the manager giving me some advice. We have won our second toss. We're going to go for it. Let's see what happens.
Well, the best thing about the role for me is like building relationships with people. I mean, if you were not traveling the world and you were not in contact with all these, important people in different roles, you wouldn't create that network for yourself and for the organization. So I enjoy meeting people and connecting with people. And when you connect with the right people, you get your job done easily. So the best thing for me is just to sit and watch everything unfold in front of me after you'd have put in all the work behind the scenes by connecting the dots along the way. And then you realize, boom, the series have started, everyone is fine, let's play.
Obviously, it's been very significant for me, obviously starting from under 17 and being around him from then to coming into the senior team setup and him guiding me along the way, giving me guidelines, advice, help with things that I would need, and obviously allowing me to understand things that I would need to travel with.
When I look at my background and my upbringing in Grenada and the countryside, that's not the characteristics of West Indies team managers. You don't search in these places for the senior West Indies team manager because I know what the thinking was about West Indies cricket and how far away it was from people in these villages and so on. So I feel proud coming from that background and being where I am today, navigating myself through and being mentally strong in certain environments. So I'm just proud of everything that happened in my career as a cricketer and just playing as a little boy growing up and now becoming who I am. And my parents, looking at my parents and the way that they operate even if they see me flash on the screen, my mom, that just, even if she goes to church, and the priest sometimes said, I'm so proud of your son. And, that makes her happy. And in turn, that makes me happy. My daughters, my wife, my family, my friends, my brothers, everybody, these are proud moments for me because they see me now as a role model coming from that background to where I am today. So everything about the role is just, it's a proud moment every day.
He thinks he's funny, but he's down to it. I mean, we go back a long way. I think I had to look after him when he just came into the West Indies team and make sure that he went on the right track, which he did. So his character is playful, but there's a line that you don't cross with him.
Call coach for me, please. I can't imagine Shannon back. Why are you batting?
Our batting coach, my plans are opening batting.
In which match?
Test match. To take them by surprise, that might be the surprise packet.
Anytime that happens, we all go back to quarantine. I'll tell you a story there. So we got one regional cricketer to assist us with the fielding on a match day. So I told him, you make your way to the Pegasus Hotel and you can ride on our team bus. Now those were the days away from COVID didn't start as yet. So he's on the team bus and we have a squad of 15. So I left the management bus and I went over to the team bus and I started counting. And I said, 15, driver, let's go. So we went to the stadium and only to realize that Fabian Allen is not on the bus. Right, so I called the hotel and that time he left in a taxi. Now obviously the traffic coming to the stadium was quite hectic on a match day. So he could not navigate himself through the traffic to get into the stadium. Quick thinking Fabian Allen, he took his accreditation. Now these guys keep the accreditation for all series on their backpack. So he was stuck in traffic, can't move, so he took his accreditation and he spotted a policeman. And he went and he said, I'm Fabian Allen, please, I'm playing for West Indies, can you take the policeman, turn his bike around and navigate him through the traffic just in time into the stadium, on the field, let's play. So for me, and I'll tell you what happened after that. The team got together in the changing room. We have a fine system set up. So Jason Holder, as usual, very vocal, placed the chair in the middle of the dressing room and said, can we have the team manager up here, please? I said, wow, okay. So I sat there and he said, Mr. Manager, did you check to see if everyone was on board this morning? I say, of course. Can you tell us what number did you get? I said 15. He said, so then why is Mr. Allen late? I said, you're fined 300 US for that negligence in your role. I said, thank you, sir. So I remember these things and I just think it was so funny. But quick thinking of Fabian to really get himself to the stadium to play. Yeah.
I can't remember the actual date, to be fair, but I would have obviously known Rawl over the years playing regional cricket and obviously playing for West Indies as well. We got a lot closer obviously when he became manager of the team, and since then till now we've always been very, very close. For instance, I've held his newborn baby quite a few times. I've been over to him and see him and his family, and we've grown and gotten really close over the years.
Well, we have a fine system. Obviously, we have, I think it's a 13-page document with our code of ethics. When someone comes into the team, we share the document with them. Well, even sometimes before, once you're selected, I would send it to them via WhatsApp. And there are lots of things in there which we would, like the guys, that's how we used to operate. It's not about players breaking rules or, doing bad things, but, you need to have some form of guidance in anything that you do. And at the back of that document, it's highlighted in yellow the total fines for breaking the rules. They are quite hefty fines. It's a long time I didn't really collect any big money from any player because now they're accustomed to what's happening. So I wouldn't give you the numbers, but we have fines for things like late for the bus, not wearing the proper uniform, missing team meetings, medical stuff, biosecure bubble, all these little things. But I must say from recently, everyone now understands that, what the operating protocol is within the group, and, happy days. No fines lately. Only minor ones, though.
To have someone like that who's played the game, and again, he didn't have an extensive international career, but he's had an extensive first-class and professional career, and I think someone like that is great around. To have somebody who's done it, who you can relate to, especially when you have bad times. He's been through his fair share of bad times in terms of his career, and he's also shared some of his fond memories as well too. So it's good to have somebody who's done it around, so you can just lean on for that expertise.
It's not something that I think about all the time. I focus on my role daily, but I just want to be remembered as somebody who is really passionate about cricket. I've played 18 years of first-class cricket in the Caribbean. I know almost everybody in the cricket fraternity in the region. Maybe this is a question somebody else may be able to answer better than me because I don't look so deep into myself. Or maybe not as yet. I'll probably ask my wife later what she thinks, what mark she thinks I would leave in the region. Or maybe Dario, he may be able to tell me. I just want to be remembered as somebody who is passionate about the game and about the growth of West Indies cricket and, the quality of the game in the Caribbean.